The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Coming to you live.
We're live.
In front of an audience from around the world, where we talk about fighters, fighting, and events. Welcome to Fight World Live, where you can hear about the latest in the world of combat sports. Get ready to gear up and square up, because we are going live. And now, broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live.
This is Fight World Live.
Well, the gang's all here. Welcome to another edition of Fight World Live on Amazon Prime. We are here with four-time world champion, Mr. Gabe. Gabe, how you doing, brother?
Not bad, gentlemen. Not bad at all. Not in a cabin in the woods anymore. Back to the grind.
Oh, very nice.
Inside MMA.
Oh, very nice. You get to be back at home shitting on my entire life every single Thursday. Perfect. How was your anniversary, sir?
It was amazing. It was actually good. Did some axe throwing. Did some rock climbing. Pressed some apples. Did some real country shit.
Congratulations on the engagement, a beautiful home, creating beautiful kids, having beautiful dogs, and yeah, wait, what?
Engagement. It was my 5th anniversary.
Oh, anniversary. Shit. Yeah, I'm losing my head. I'm sorry about that. A little bit rusty.
My engagement, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Fair enough. Axe throwing, you got to drink, you also got to shit on my life. You know, it was a perfect vacation, right?
It was a good vacation. As a matter of fact, that Thursday night, I had been drinking some of that hard apple cider they make up there in beautiful Trillion. And I got to say, my wife said I was a little more animated than normal. I just feel like I was more shooting on you. Okay, real good.
Good for you. I hate you. And we're also here with, at one point in time, considered one of the best fighters in the world on planet Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Thunder, Jake Hatton. Jake, how you doing, brother?
Not as good as Gabe was last Thursday. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Gabe was saucy. Gabe, you were MC Hammer, my friend.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I trust your judgment.
It wasn't on a level of 1 to David episode 1 drunk. You were probably like an 8.5, but I have to give it to you, sir. You were pretty saucy there.
As a matter of fact, I think David episode 1 drunk was the best. It's so good.
Yeah.
Not one of my career highlights, but it was a fun day. It was a fun day. Anyway,
back.
No, we don't have to do that at all.
Have a fun game. How about a fun game? A drinking game.
Oh, you want to do a drinking game?
Yeah. And it'll be.
Hey, that didn't take much to coax that. Did you hear that? He's like, no, and he's like, drinking game.
Wait a minute, I'm all in.
Well,
yeah. So we can do things like, is slap boxing good or bad? And the consensus, if 2 people are in agreement and the third is not, that person has to drink. You're going to be drunk as fuck.
Oh, you are in trouble, Potter.
Good.
Invite some of the other podcast hosts, and we'll all have a wild debate about power slap. And let's just see if I can convince everybody why power slap is fucking glorious. What do you think? Shut up.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, Phil Hawes is going to be joining us on the program, but we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, UFC 294 is coming up this weekend. Big fights coming up for UFC 294. Also, we want to give a in-depth analysis, and I'm sure Gabe cannot wait for this part, but giving an in-depth review about Danzin Misfits Boxing. And you're actually good friends with Mams Taylor. You actually just admitted that, and we had no fucking idea. Another thing we didn't know about Gabe.
So I've known Mams for years and years, and I had no idea he was even part of it. But he's a genuinely good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, I just texted him after our off-screen conversation. I had no idea that he's even part of it. So I know that he worked with KSI in like the music industry, but I didn't realize that he was also part of the Misfits Boxing. And that's about the extent of what I know about Misfits Boxing.
Cool.
But I also know
that will.
Oh, go ahead.
No, continue. What were you saying?
That I didn't get to watch this last one, but I heard that your boy, we're not going to say his name, but it rhymes with Phil and Mammoth. He put on quite the show.
No. Let me hold on a second. He put on the worst boxing performance in history. His best.
We're also going to talk about Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez at BKFC. We're also going to talk about, is Bellator done? We've been hearing a lot of rumors around the woodshed, around the water cooler, that Bellator could be deceased, that PFL could be purchasing Bellator. We got to talk about that. And also we're going to talk about USDA having a Britney Spears moment. And, they pretty much went full emotional breakdown. USDA, they separated from the UFC and they had a full Britney Spears moment, had a huge
USADA, not USDA. Yeah, I was confused. Yeah, USADA.
I'm like
USADA, USDA, same shit, Jake. It's the same shit.
No,
it is the same shitty result, yes, because USDA sucks also, but yes. Yeah, we were confused. We couldn't.
I was like, "What? Why is USDA on the show today?"
Right.
Okay. Now we're on the same page. Got it. And again, if this were a drinking game, Potter would be taking a shot right now.
I hate you both equally. Just saying.
That's fair.
For the record, I hate you both equally.
At least it's equal.
This has been the season of you just busting my balls. Ever since I brought Power Slap, it's like I lost all credit with you guys. I thought you guys were my friends.
Your Power Slap.
Okay, so at least you concede where the problem lies.
I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to sell out, sir. I love Power Slap.
You know what? I love that. I love when people make really horrible decisions and they stick with that.
Keep doubling down. Keep doubling down.
That's right. Yeah, you're that guy. You're like, let's do this. I love that shit, Potter. You stick to your guns, baby. That's right. You stick to your guns. It might be a toy gun and it may not have any ammo in it, but you stick. I thought you hated us equally.
All day long, baby. Every time you insult me, I'm gonna play that fucking video. We can play for an entire hour. Fuck Amazon. We can.
No. You said it's equal hatred. If it's equal hatred, where's Hatton's video?
I don't have, because I visit Hatton often. He can fucking beat the shit out of me, so I can't make a video about Jake Hatton.
I can fly to Vegas.
All right,
Gabe, I'll let you know next time Potter comes in.
Delete it from my repertoire. No.
Yeah, hey, getting back to the Bellator PFL, that is interesting.
I did hear that Showtime Sports is stopping all. They're cutting all Showtime Sports.
All boxing.
Yep.
Boxing.
Why are they going out of business? Why?
It's not out of business. Paramount is just realizing it's not a model that's making money.
But fuck me in the beard. It has made the money previously with Floyd Money Mayweather. They've had massive pay-per-views with Strikeforce. Showtime is as old as I am. It's 37 years old. They are boxing, and I love. They were the first fucking promotion in the U.S. to put on a females main event with Cyborg and Gina Carano in 2009. Trendsetters. I mean, they were fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Why
but
would Showtime cease operations? What?
It's part of boxing. Boxing is old rich man sport, and they just can't get out of their own way. They have done this to themselves. They have created another market for misfit boxing for all these guys. I mean, they were patting themselves on the back because they put 3 good events on this year. Who's Mayweather's kid? Little heavy hitter, Tank Davis. They had a Tank Davis, Tyson Fury, and one other fight. I mean, Jesus Christ, UFC puts fights on every other week. So boxing seems to just kill themselves.
100%.
Okay, so it's still a shot in the childhood. I mean, and what are you going to do with that catalog? Like, how are you going to monetize the catalog that you have with Showtime Boxing and all these classic fights? Like, what happens there? Are you going to sell your catalog, or are you going to get rid? Like, this is what pisses me off. Like, I was this enraged when HBO Boxing went out of business. Like, fuck me in the beard. God damn. Like, another one bites the dust. Shit, boxing's in trouble.
Well, but it's more so you gotta understand that they're a premium network, right? And so they're going to figure out what monetarily is the best fit. And if these aren't bringing in new subscribers, because that's the reality of it, the pay-per-view is its own separate entity. But if it's not bringing in more members to viewers to watch, it doesn't make sense. And like HBO is gonna double down on shows like Throating the Dragon or whatever that Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
People are going to watch that. That has more viable push to have people as subscribers.
You would think with the Jake Paul effect, especially because Jake Paul, Showtime put all the eggs in the Jake Paul basket. You would think with influencer boxing, Showtime made a pretty penny, but they really didn't. They really did not make, from a monetary standpoint, the return on investment for Jake Paul fights. I mean, look at the numbers; they were abysmal.
Think about boxing. Everybody bags the UFC. In most professional sports organizations, I think it's 60 to 70% of the gross revenue. And I could be a little off on this, but I know it's at least 60% of the gross revenue goes to the athletes. So in UFC, I think they're up to maybe 12%, but they still pay better than other organizations. In boxing, you have one fight. Name the undercard of any of these fights. You usually can't. So you get one fight, and they're paying these guys $50 million. There's not a lot of meat left on the bone. So is it like Gabe said, is it a profitable model? Probably not.
Yeah, and this is why I really want to kind of pick. We got to get Mams Taylor, Mams on the show to discuss, because surprisingly, I thought Dan's in boxing. I thought that was a far superior card than the Canelo card. I thought I was vastly entertained, and I knew every single person I was fighting. There was tag team boxing. There was, showman, entertainer. Shout out to Anthony Pretty Taylor. He's going to come back on the show. He won his fight, won a championship. Friend of the show. He's been on the show multiple times, won a championship. Like, it was far more entertaining than. And surprisingly so, because they're all fucking amateurs, essentially. They're all people that aren't necessarily on Canelo's level.
I think that they're following the new business model, which is how many followers do you have? How many, and you're looking about influencers. You're not caring about athletes. You're not caring about being the most elite. You're bringing in an influencer, which people follow influencers, and then you can build a business model off, which I think is smart. I personally don't like it because I want to see the elite athletes. I want to see the guys that are going to go out there and do it. But you know what? If it's putting butts into seats and it's making money, I can't fault them for that business model.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope right now, right? Because I like Logan Paul. I like Jake Paul. I like what they've done. I don't agree with some of the matchups. The problem is, in today's youth, they're looking at a guy like Dillon Danis fighting, and they're looking at Canelo and kind of grouping them. I'd never want to see that, right? No. I mean, they don't know any difference is what I'm trying to say. You don't know what you don't know. And it's crazy because you have one elite athlete that spent his life mastering his craft, and then some fucking influencer. Not that it's not hard to get in the ring, but there's levels to this game. You can't compare the two. And we're starting to see some. I hope we're not seeing some. I just want to keep some purity in the sport.
Going off what you said, Tommy Fury is not an elite boxer by any standard. When he talks about like he's not even like a journeyman level. And he maybe gave Jake Paul everything he could give. And like you're gonna tell me you're like Canelo, dude. Canelo is leaps and bounds ahead of Tommy Fury, leaps and bounds. But the conversation gets brought up quite a bit. Jake Paul versus Canelo, and I'm like, dude, what? But what?
Well,
that makes no sense.
Hey, listen, the smartest guy in this entire organization is Tommy Fury. He's getting the easiest fights. He doesn't get touched. He's had 6 or 7 fights, and he's making tens of millions of dollars. He has got the best. That is the best fight career ever. And if I was him, I wouldn't be trying to fight elite boxers. I'd stay right where I was at.
And he's also making.
And look at the pay-per-view numbers. This is the number one grossing boxing pay-per-view and fight pay-per-view of 2023 was that Danzin. We got to get Mams on this show. We got to pick his fucking brain. 1.3 million buys. 1.3 million buys for influencer boxing. Fucking nuts.
He hasn't responded to my text yet, but I'll give him a call later.
Holy shit. We definitely have to get him on the show. We definitely have to speak to him about that. And we also, we have Phil Hawes, who's going to be coming on. He's running a little bit late because he was actually in training. So he's going to be running a little bit late. So are you guys ready for 5 topics?
Ooh, 5. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all my bros and hosts of different area codes of swollen lymph nodes and tiny shows. Let's get into 5 topics. Pause, and we have to interrupt 5 topics for Phil Hawes. We'll wait for him. But we're going to go into 5 topics. We are a lot of things are going on in the world of combat sports. We brought up a couple of them. But are you ready for topic number 1, boys and girls?
I like that, Gabe.
Fair enough. Let's run this bitch. Let's go. Topic number 1. Let's go. Shit. Okay. Topic number 1. Obviously, UFC 294 goes down this weekend. Big main event. Obviously, there's a lot of fights I'm looking forward to. Kamaru Usman, I'm looking forward to him fighting in Abu Dhabi. I'm looking forward to, a lot of fights. What say you? Mr. Gabe first. Gabe, what do you think about the fights? What fights are you looking forward to for UFC 294 if you were paying attention?
Yeah, I am actually. So the first fight is actually the first fight of the card. There's this young Russian kid who's like, I think. Yeah, 11-0, 18-2. Like, I'm looking at his record, and that kid looks like an interesting prospect. Let's see what happens to that kid. I watched a highlight video of him, and the kid looks like a freaking ferocious monster. But we don't know the talent that he's gone against. But let's go to the main event, which is what everyone really wants. So everyone wants that.
And the co-main. Don't forget the co-main.
Yeah, both. Okay, so let's go co-main first. Khamzat versus Usman. Interesting fight. Now, the biggest issue I see is who can stop the takedown. There are 2 different styles of wrestling, and I'm going Khamzat. I think Usman, if he had enough preparation time, and the thing is, he's a 70-pounder, and he's been a consistent 70-pound champion. Now, I will say that he's used to doing 5-round fights. This is a 3-round fight. But I feel that Khamzat, after he lost to Burns, probably went back to the table and realized, I need to up my gas tank. I need to make sure that I can go hard goes, 3-5s, go, 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 go. And I think that the fact that he's been in Abu Dhabi for like 3 months now, that is a huge advantage. So I'm going Khamzat, I think, by decision. And in the main...
No, got to do main event.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah,
my heart is with Volkanovski. My mind is with Islam, And I think it's the same exact thing as it's preparation time and it's acclimation to Abu Dhabi.
Fair enough. So, Jake, what say you? And by the way, Jake, I actually wanted to bring this up to you and throw this out there. There was the open workout that happened, and you can hear Usman saying, "I popped something" when he was training with Justin Gaethje. What do you make of that? Is that going to play a factor? Or what say you?
Kamaru, both of Kamaru's knees are so jacked up, he can barely walk. They said he literally has to walk downstairs sideways. So his knees have been shot forever. So I think his knees are so screwed up, he'll power through that. But I'm interested in the one-eyed. I think is he Dagestani?
I think he's Russian, actually.
Russian. He looks mean as shit.
Yeah,
he just yeah. So he's kind of, that's going to be an interesting one. And then Usman, yeah, I kind of feel the same. Hazmat is just he's big too. He's big. I mean, they squared off today. He's just huge and short notice, like you said. But I don't know. I think Usman's going to make it a fight. I'd like to see if it was a 5-round fight because Usman has such a gas tank. But I think Hazmat's going to be a little too much. And we just don't know which Usman's going to show up. He was so dominant for so many years, but back-to-back losses, that's a tough one. So short notice, I got to go with Hazmat. And then main event, Gabe, who'd you take?
I took Islam. My brain said Islam. My heart feels it should be Volk.
Yeah, and I can't argue with you. But however, the one thing that kind of gives me hope with Volk is, like you said, if he had a full training camp, that'd be a different story. But what does give me hope with Volk is I think they knew this fight was coming at some point. So I think he might have been training for it. Kind of watching the embeddeds, they kind of threw some spit some words about it. So I'll be curious. So my betting's going to Volk and my heart's with Volk, but that's a tough one also. Short notice and no. If anybody has never traveled overseas to fight, it is brutal. It is brutal. Gabe, I know. It just takes it out of you. So, like you said, with Hazmat being over there training, just acclimated. There's a lot against Volk.
He's been in there. Like that's the thing is when guys have 3 months, 4 months of training in the time zone and all the weather and every part of it, that is a massive. And I think my personal opinion is that Volkanovski beat him last time.
Yeah, me too.
I thought 3-2.
I did too.
Even a draw, but either way, that was full camp in Australia.
You know what? One thing though, I'm going to say that I think is this is why Islam's different than Khabib. Khabib would say things like, "I'm going to break you," but he wouldn't insult you. He just spoke so matter of fact where you believed. And Islam is just so arrogant. I think his arrogance is his downfall. I really do.
Well, good. I mean, look, like I said, my heart's with Volk. But if I'm going all the parameters side by side, I'm going Islam.
Yeah.
If Volkanovski wins, I will be a happy man to be wrong.
Yeah, me too.
Fair enough. So, gentlemen, are you guys ready for topic number 2? Oh, I'm sure Gabe is going to be chopping at the bit to talk about this shit. And by the way, if you're waiting for Phil Hawes, I apologize. Phil Hawes actually is leaving training. He's getting ready for an upcoming fight. So we're going to get him on as soon as he pops on. Fighters, sometimes running late, and big shout out to him. We appreciate his time. So let's go. Topic number 2. I hate you, Gabe.
Whoa! Sorry, mosquito. There's a mosquito.
All right, Gabe. So we're talking about Gabe, please. Yeah. P's and Q's. You must crack, okay? Let's take a breath before, and let's think about what we say before, Mr. Gabe.
Oh, I don't really want to think about it.
So we're bringing up Danis Misfits Boxing. Obviously, we're talking about the event before, and obviously 1.3 million people bought the event. Mixed reviews here and there. influencer boxing, I thought it was far superior than Canelo boxing. Canelo's boxing event that happened a week prior. But what say you? What are your opinions about the fights, Mr. Gabe? For the
well, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Superior in what way? In talent or production? Because there's a big difference here. Before Gabe
entertainment. Okay, so from an entertainment standpoint, and from me giving a shit about everybody that's fighting, this was boxing far superior. And the I hate Showtime boxing and the production where it works at like a snail's pace, where they're doing the national anthems for fucking all 60 countries, and they're making the fucking, like, the entrance is longer sometimes than the fights. And then when we get to the fight, I'm fucking exhausted because of the ambiance that happens before the fight. I think the production absolutely is abysmal when it comes to Showtime boxing. It works at a snail's pace. It's fucking boring to watch. You know, I'd rather watch Flies Fuck Pete Dry and Geely on fucking DVD than sit through another. I love Showtime, but Jesus Christ, is it boring. The ambiance absolutely sucks shit. So I thought that Misfits Boxing did a good job at keeping people entertained and engaged in the fights. But now that we set you up for Gabe to pop my fucking bubble and make me hate my life, Gabe, what are your thoughts about Danzig Misfits Boxing and what went down and what transpired?
First off, big out to Mams Taylor. I had no idea whatsoever he was part of it. Close friend of mine, and that's awesome. So that alone makes me want to support it and not shit on it like I truly do, because he's one of my close friends. That being said, oh boy, the Dillon Danis Paul fight. Oof. I didn't watch it. So first of all, I gotta say that. But I saw if you can even admit that they're highlights. Atrocity. It was an atrocity. It was like it was bad. It was oh so bad.
No.
That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about the main event? Yeah, I'm glad you got that out, Gabe.
Yep.
Before our guest comes on, I'm glad you got that out.
Ask Jake. Jake's more. I probably watched the event. I didn't watch the event, so I watched highlights after the fact and multiple write-ups about it. That was enough for me.
It was. Look, I like Misfits Boxing, and they've got a certain audience. But as far as talent, I'm not going to sit here and say that it was a good fight, because the last two fights were awful. Dillon Danis was he threw more punches at and the guy said it. He threw more punches at the security guard than he threw at Jake Paul. At one point, he fell back into the guard and just made a mockery. Then he shot a double leg. Then he dropped for a guillotine. He missed that. I mean, it was just, he made a true mockery of it. And the worst part is he didn't even get knocked out. You know, he just did enough to not look terrible. You got to call a spade a spade. I'm not trying to shit on any athlete. I mean, Dillon Danis, but what did everybody expect? I mean, Dillon Danis is a jiu-jitsu guy. He's not a good MMA fighter, and he's got zero striking. I mean, zero. It was painful. You know, and then the main event. Yeah. No, I was going to say the main event. The main event, I wanted to see more out of Tommy Fury. I thought he was going to sit back. KSI fought him like he does, and strategically he fought a smart fight, but goddamn, it was boring. It was so bad. It was just because all they did was literally run and tangle each other up, and the refereeing was the worst out of everybody because he wouldn't break them up. I mean, the refereeing was the worst part of the entire match. But I mean,
so we have 182. Oh, continue.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, no, we have 182 people watching on YouTube, and shout out to our YouTube channel, and shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. So in front of 182 people, and I say this with all due respect because obviously, Gabe, you're a 4-time world champion and BJJ black belt, and you have earned your right to an opinion over mine. I think your opinion has far more weight than mine. And also Jake Hatton, who fought all over the world, and I consider one time one of the best fighters in the world. But fuck you both! I thought it was listen. I say that with all due respect because I love you both. Okay, I love you both, and you could probably choke me to death and murder me, and they'll never find the body. But I say this with all due respect. I fucking hate you both. Because Dillon Danis made a mockery of an event that makes a mockery out of boxing. Let's just be completely honest. The thing with Dillon Danis is he's a 4-time BJJ world champion, right? Okay. You know, anyone that reaches black belt, Gabe, you know the grind and you know the journey. It takes so much fucking work to get to a BJJ black belt. I mean, yep. I'm at fucking blue and I've been doing this for what? How long? Forever? Like, it takes a certain level of character, and the 0.000001% will ever reach black belt. And I'm okay with that, and I accept that. It takes a special kind of athlete and a special kind of human being, just like Mr. Gabe, to reach black belt. That goes without saying. So, would Logan Paul take the fight if the roles were reversed and Dillon Danis was actually a 4-time boxing world champion?
No, of course not. That's silly. No, listen, the Paul brothers are very, very good at marketing themselves, and I don't understand why that's even a question. It's known that they pick fighters expressly to build their brand. Listen, if Jake and Logan were to fight even journeyman boxers, they wouldn't have the clout that they have at all. They would get destroyed, and that would be the end of it. The story buildup is you give them guys that they can beat and that are not good at boxing, and then you have a story to build them up, and then you can have ridiculous talks like Canelo versus Jake Paul. Fuck out of here. Nonsense.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, so we're at agreement. Perfect. So, Dillon Danis, I just made a valid point, but Dillon Danis knew what he was getting himself into. This was the prime card, okay? This was to promote a subpar drink because I drank it. I rather drink fucking hot gasoline or hot piss than drink a bottle of Prime. No offense. Listen, I love the UFC. I love anybody that sponsors the UFC. I love Prime in that respect from a business standpoint that they support my favorite brand. But fuck, I rather drink piss water than drink fucking Prime. Nevertheless, Dillon Danis knew he was walking himself into. Yep.
I agree with you. See, actually, I have agreed with Potter. It's unbelievable. I actually agree with you. I went out on a limb and I bought a Prime just to taste it. It's shit. It's complete shit. It doesn't taste good at all. So we're in agreement there. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, Potter. See, we're back in it. We're back in it, baby.
Oh my goodness. So the build-up, holy shit, I'm walking tall right now. I just went from 6 to midnight. One of my heroes just agree with me for a change. Holy Santa Claus shit. Oh my God, the sky is falling. What? Oh my goodness. I just came. Gabe just agreed with me, finally. So anyway, going back on point. Sorry, I just went on a damn rant. But going back on point, even the build up to the fight, Dillon Danis got signed not to a BJJ contest where Logan Paul was going to be at a disadvantage, not an MMA fight where Logan Paul was still going to be at a disadvantage, but a boxing fight where, the last time I saw Dillon Danis at the gym sparring and everything, it was with a knee brace. He suffered a tremendous injury. But the buildup, he gave Logan Paul a taste of their own medicine. The Paul brothers have tortured civilians and tortured people at their expense for YouTube videos and everything like that. Ben Askren's wife, they put through the fucking ringer. Floyd Money Mayweather's allegations and baby's mom put through.
We're not arguing that.
Ma'ams.
We're not arguing that.
So no. But this is what I'm saying. Dillon Danis made a mockery of the Paul brothers. Okay, made a mockery, and also his wife, who obviously is very promiscuous, and anyone that's sexually liberated, it's okay, but. It's something to put.
You're building you're talking about the wrong. We're not. Gabe and I aren't saying that he's got it. Listen, even if you came on to get eyeballs, you still got to throw some punches. And the fact is, he humiliated himself. Himself. And I stress,
Jake. Jake, let me make my point. Jake, I'm gonna come on your eyebrows. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Your eyeballs. Jake, just let me finish my point here. Just let me finish my point. So I just lost my train of thought. So he made a mockery of the Paul brothers throughout the build-up, and then the event, the prime event, to make a lot of money for the Pauls, to make a lot of money for Logan Paul, and everything.
He didn't make
he goes out there.
Those guys make
obviously.
more money than anything.
Can I please finish my point?
Get on with it.
First
Potter.
off, Logan Paul. I lost my fucking train of thought. Jesus Christ. But Dillon Danis made a mockery of Logan Paul wanted the biggest event ever, the best fight ever, and fucking Dillon Danis made a mockery the entire time, laughing, keeping up his guard, fuck you, bitch, and like fucking pulling guard, going for a double leg takedown, having a ball out there. The night before, they were all partying and having a great time. This was a glorified spar to them. To fucking Logan Paul, this was the biggest fight of his life. The Dillon Danis, it was Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dillon Danis made a mockery of the prime event, and I am all fucking for it, my friend.
Hey,
all fucking for it.
Hey, who did Logan Paul fight before this?
KSI.
And who did he fight before that?
KSI.
Floyd fucking Mayweather. You're telling me Dillon Danis moves the needle? Dillon Danis needs them. They don't need Dillon Danis. They can take
Dillon Danis absolutely, Jake. Dillon Danis absolutely sold his event. No, I'm not sucking dick. I'm telling you,
Potter. The love fest for Dillon Danis is mind-boggling. Go to number 3.
No. Let's continue. He sold the event on his shoulders. When Phil gets here, if he does get here, you know, he's running late from sparring, but when he does get here, at least I'll have an ally. I hate you both. Are you guys ready for topic number 3?
Number 3, Potter. Number 3.
I need new heroes. Topic.
The clean has feet on the feet. 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, gentlemen. Topic number 3 is Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez has just been announced for BKFC. These guys are 2 fucking maniacs. I saw Mike Perry just talking shit to everybody. Mike Perry is an absolute savage. What say you? Mike Perry finally is back in action. BKFC. Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez. What do you think?
That's a fun fight. There's nothing you can say about it. I mean, Eddie's got great boxing. He's a veteran who's been in the game for a long time. One problem I see with that is if Mike Perry comes in hot and tries to make it a dogfight, Eddie's chin is not it's not the most durable. It's not the most durable, and I think Mike Perry will make it a dogfight. And I mean, Mike Perry will get dirty. Look, I'm not a big Mike Perry fan as far as like him as a person, but he's fun to watch, man. He is a fun fighter to watch, and he goes out on his shield and he fucking fights, and he will make you fight dirty and ugly. And I think that's a bad fight for Alvarez. Although Alvarez is like I said, a clean boxer and a gamer, but I think that I got to say Mike Perry's gonna win that one.
Fair enough, sir. And what do you think about Jake? What do you think about Mike Perry? They have a stacked fucking card for BKFC. Holy shit! You got Christine Ferreira versus Beck Rawlings again in the rematch. That card is stacked to the tits.
Why?
Yeah.
Wait, no. Why are they doing that fight again?
Why are they doing that fight? Because why not? It was an entertaining fight, and no one wants to fight Christine Ferreira.
But wasn't it over in like 2 rounds?
Why not, Gabe?
Because it was over in 2 rounds, and then Beck Rawlings hasn't fought since to build herself back up to contention for a title.
Well, see, with Beck Rawlings, she made it competitive. And Christine Ferreira self-admittedly, and shout out to her, she's a friend of the show, but self-admittedly, she said she was off for game 2. The fight ended. They put up a spirited first round, but the fight ended with a cut with Beck Rawlings. So she got cut. Fight had to go over. So and no one wants to fight Christine Ferreira because she's an absolute fucking buzzsaw. So now they're going to run it back for the second time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is two. Mike Perry is a dog, but man, so is Alvarez. But man, I agree with Gabe. And also, you're going up in weight. You know, Eddie's going way up in weight. And man, Eddie's been in some all-time classic wars. You know, like Gabe said, how much of your chin's left? And Mike Perry was built for this fucking sport. I mean, he in every possible way. But I mean, this fight could be. I mean, you're putting two dogs in there. I mean, it could be fight of the year.
True. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think Mike Perry's an absolute fucking savage. Eddie Alvarez, absolute fucking dog. Both these guys don't know how to put a fucking boring fight. If they fell asleep in the ring, they couldn't put on a boring fight. These are two fucking warriors, veterans of the fight game. I met Mike Perry personally, one of the nicest fucking guys. We were shooting the shit at BKFC. Couldn't be nicer to the missus. Couldn't be nicer to my friends. Mike Perry's a fucking savage. And he was actually he showed up to Dan's Boxing knowing that he probably was not going to fight, but he was still looking for a fight. I mean, he was talking shit to everybody there, like all the fucking people. He was ready to fight. Mike Perry, an absolute fucking savage. Just saying, this is going to be a really good fight.
You can't deny that Mike Perry's a character and he's entertaining. Like I mean, I'll watch a Mike Perry fight no matter what. He's fun. He's entertaining to me.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. And by the way, I want to make a brief announcement. I know we have 146 people watching right now. So Phil Hawes has to reschedule. He was training in Manhattan, training in Hoboken, getting ready for an upcoming fight. Sealed lips on that one, but we're gonna reschedule him for probably next week or the week after that, depending on our schedule as well. But shout out to him for even considering coming on the show, just getting back from Manchester, United Kingdom. So big shout out, class act, Phil Hawes. He's been on the show before. I love him. He's a great guy. So hopefully we can get him on the show next week or the week after. So,
what's up?
Okay, so are you ready for topic number 4, good sir? All right, let's fucking do this. Topic number 4.
I have fun talking to you guys.
You know what? You guys bust my balls all day long, but that's okay. Do you know why?
But that's okay, because we're big dick bandits, 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 big dick bandits.
Out of curiosity, Potter, speaking of that, how big are Dillon Danis' balls? Since you put them right there, how big are they? You put them in your hand right there. How big are they?
Huge.
Okay, sure.
Being a four-time BJJ world champion and going into boxing, I'd say he has huge balls. And to go out on the world stage, and you made that walk in boxing.
Hold on. He didn't even fight. That doesn't take big balls. Anybody could have got in there and did what he did. Anybody. And to take that fucking payday, that's insane.
Yeah. I agree that style takes big balls. Oh no, wrong hat.
Where's your wiener hat, Potter?
Where's your wiener hat, Potter?
As the undisputed king of Fight World Live, IWE, the worst people ever, the worst hosts ever, Jake Hatton and Gabe Rudiger. You are the worst. As king of Fight World Live in my own universe, IWE, the worst people ever.
So Bellator, is it done?
Yes. Please switch that topic. For the love of God.
I've been hearing quite the rumblings about Bellator being bought out by PFL, and now that Showtime is saying that Showtime Sports is calling it a day, that is just more fuel to the fire, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Right. And you're I have to give you this, Gabe, even though I hate it. You are very seldomly wrong. So I think, don't smile, Gabe, or that I admit that. I hate you. But yeah, you're very seldomly wrong, and I think that's how it plays out also. I think PFL gets purchased. PFL has a lot of money now to play with. They purchased Bellator, had this huge conglomerate, and guess what? Who owns the contract of Dillon Danis? Bellator. That means Dillon Danis is going to fucking PFL. Let's go, baby! Jake Hatton, what's your opinion, good sir?
Now, can I ask you, and be honest here, is Dillon Danis fighting? And it has nothing to do with, I know we bust his chops, but I mean, honestly, Dillon, I mean, the guy's fought. I mean, does anybody give a shit about him fighting? I'm being honest.
1.3 million buys, Jake. 1.3 million buys. Biggest pay-per-view.
But Logan Paul, they do. Misfits Boxing did it, not Dillon fucking Danis.
Dillon Danis sold the car on his back and fucking Anina on her back. That's how they sold this shit.
Hey, keep in mind what's one of the biggest podcasts in the world, Logan Paul's Impulsive. Who promotes this? Logan Paul's Impulsive. Who's got the biggest social media? Logan Paul. I mean, come on. You got to call a spade here. So,
Logan Paul did.
Gabe.
Okay.
Bellator.
Jake, Bellator.
Okay.
I think I didn't know if Gabe was done. I didn't mean it.
No, please, Jake, please.
Jake,
yeah,
Jake.
PFL is going to buy him. I mean, Scott Coker, I think, is one of the better owners in any organization. He's done a good job of kind of just keeping his head down, running good, clean organizations. You know, he did it with Strikeforce, and he came in, but he's not the owner of Bellator anymore. You know, it's who's the big conglomerate? Big TV station. Jesus. Anyways, yeah. Well, they own Paramount. It's anyways, there's nowhere for them to go. So I think they just want to sell it off, and I think PFL is probably lowballing them. But I don't know where PFL is getting all this money.
By the way, timeout. Sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you guys. So timeout. We are going to reschedule Dillon Danis for next week. All the people that tuned in, we have 182 people tuned in right now on the live. We are so sorry. Phil Hawes has a huge training schedule going on. So we don't, that comes first. So just texted me back. He says he is on for next week. Can't wait to talk to him about him and his adventures in Manchester, United Kingdom, him cornering Dillon Danis, and also his upcoming fights. And can't wait for Jake to repeat that in front of the very dangerous, bad motherfucker, Phil Hawes.
Count on it. That's my honest opinion. You count on it.
Please, God. Please.
Count on it. This has nothing to do with Phil. Just I'm saying this as respectfully as possible, but you got to call a fucking spade a spade. Dillon is fucking embarrassing.
I agree.
Okay,
100%.
all right.
Wait, David. We shouldn't have to pull back our opinions on things just because it's going to maybe hurt feelings. You know what? Fuck your feelings. Genuinely. And you know what? They are their opinions.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you think that power slap is great. That is your opinion. You and maybe 5 other people in the world have that same opinion. And that's okay. You can.
Oh, wait to be objective. Wait to be objective and still shoot me in the fucking head. Oh.
Just saying, Potter. I'm just saying. Their opinions, and people are welcome to their opinions. And people might feel bad about them. And there's also, if evidence is given to
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gabe.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Continue.
I don't know if
Wait,
I can.
what are you saying?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you saying, Gabe?
Yep.
He keeps being trolled by a digital nerd there. He can't get his saying out.
Exactly.
Come on, Potter.
Be
What
better.
are you saying, sir? Who runs the production?
Hey, who's the Burger King guy? Is he the Burger King guy? That's who we're gonna call you BK from now on.
Let's go, BK.
Let's make a baby 5.
USDA having a Britney Spears moment.
All right. Okay, so they had their own press conference, just fucking flipping out, having a David Potter on the show, talking to both of you guys moment, and just fucking let the UFC have it. Dana White says it was unprofessional how they split. Gabe, what say you, four-time world champion?
You know what? I've got mixed emotions about that, to be honest. I think USADA did. They brought a certain level of professionalism to MMA, which wasn't there before, and I think it was a good thing. But I think a lot of the out of competition tests and things like that were complete bullshit. Like just railroading people at 6 a.m. and in their with their family and fucking then USADA just rolls through. I don't know if that was necessarily the best thing or the best approach, but I did like the fact that now you had this body that was separate from the UFC. Now, admittedly, the UFC's paying them, so but they were paid to basically keep things as clean as possible. We saw a lot of people get gigged, a lot of people get hit with it, and you know what? I have a mixed feeling about it. I'm curious where the UFC is going to go now. But I don't, I'm not quite sure how to take it one way or the other.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking it,
well, remember last week?
What do you think? What say you?
Remember last week I was saying one of my inside sources said they were going to use the company I think it's called Clean Testing, and they announced it that night. So at least I didn't look like an asshole, but it's also a third-party testing, and they do some of the biggest organizations, and they've got a little bit better technology. And like Gabe said, I mean, I think that Volkanovski fight, the one where it was so close with Holloway, they woke him up like at 5 a.m. the morning of the fight. That is unfucking, and he couldn't get back to sleep. And I mean, I think there was a lot of messed up things, and they were thinking about exiting anyways. And sometimes you move on to bigger and better things. So I think the clean testing program, that company is going to be a lot better.
And just to put it, and obviously I want everyone in a clean sport, or I want everyone roided up like fucking Bob the Beast Sapp and ready to like fucking piss hot oil and fail every single drug test and come out roided to the gills like in Pride FC, where Vanderlei Silva was knocking Japanese fighters' heads in the third row. Like, you know what, roided out or not, like one or the other, I'm all for it. Gordon said it best. Like he believed in testosterone on all the athletes. Get to your absolute potential. I see the pros and the cons. Obviously, the cons are long-term side effects. Chris Benoit killing his entire family. #. I mean, either or, I'm for it. But USADA knocking on people's doors, harassing them, and it comes down to money. Conor McGregor is their cash cow, and especially fucking Endeavor that just spent a dick ton of money. I mean, a dick ton of fucking money and all the comments just came flooded in. Jesus Christ, we're gonna have to read every single comment. Holy Santa Claus shit. Look at all these comments. Fuck me in the beard. Shit. They all just loaded up now. We need to get a new platform. Nevertheless, just like UFC needs to get a new drug testing system, not at the expense of fucking money. Because Conor McGregor, as soon as they said Endeavor would just spend $3 trillion to buy WWE, they want their cash cow back, and they're not going to wait 6 months to get it. Fuck you, out of here. Conor McGregor is more important than fucking safe drug testing, and it really tells the significance that Conor McGregor has, and it also really tells you what the UFC and what WWE is like, and what MMA is like under the confines of publicly traded companies. What say you?
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily a Conor McGregor thing. He followed the protocol perfectly. And if you listen to what Nowitzki said, it was a little have it your way. That's good. Fucking BK for now, huh? Giovanni, thank you, bud.
Shout out to my teammate and former coach, Gio Average, who's going to be fighting. I'll be cornering him on Saturday. Have it your way, baby. He's going to have it.
Giovanni, I just lost my train of thought, but yours was much better.
That was pretty good. I gotta give you 100%.
Love you too, brother. We also have Valcom, Rick. Shout out to Rick. He's a fighter for BKFC.
Yep, thanks, Rick.
Yes. TJ says that card's so effing fire. Can't wait. I've been thinking about going to watch it. Talking about BKFC. Sales has been laughing at me, of course. Shout out to the Weekly Bus. They have a big show coming on tomorrow. Alan Blatcher is going to be coming on. Can't wait. Dave Potter, thanks for sharing the stream with the boys. Subscribe to the Weekly Bus on YouTube. Please do. They are partners with us. We're in this together. I fucking love them. They are the shit when it comes to bare knuckle, the best podcast in the fucking game. And TJ saying, I'll probably hop on here. I'm going to be watching the fight, so if I don't catch it live, I'll for sure come back and watch it later. Fuck yeah, man. Eugen Sale says, Nina gave me quality tap. Quality top. Oh, that was a Nina joke. Levi, thanks for everyone tuning in. We go live with Alan Bleacher tomorrow, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Can't fucking wait for that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Ben, my old football teammate from high school. Great show, guys. November 1st, UFC fighters are in town for a car trading show. I can't wait for fucking that. It's going to be in Secaucus, New Jersey. I'll be there on November 11th. I'm so sorry about that. Connor McKenna says, Logan is trash. And I'm sure we all can agree with that. Most definitely. I don't know what the context of that.
Sorry, you're not yelling at him for his opinion, Potter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, put your king hat on.
Yeah. I meant BK.
Kyle Gabby Strong Super says, yo, what's going on, baby? How you doing? And Connor McKenna says, fight world live. Jesus Christ, catching up with all these comments. I'm sorry, guys. We 131 fucking viewers right now. Jesus, Santa Claus shit. I'm so sorry about that. And Phil Hawes will be coming on next week. And we have Alan Bleacher coming on for the Weekly Bus. But back on topic, what were you saying? I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, no, I don't even remember. Comments were much better. The comments were much better.
I appreciate the comments.
Sorry about that. We were getting crashed. A lot of people watching, a lot of people tuning in, a lot of people leaving comments, and we appreciate every single one of you. So we're gonna wrap up this show. We're gonna wrap up the show like Chris is. We're coming towards the closing time.
Don't we have a nerd fact of the week?
Nerd fact for Gabe.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we do. For Gabe.
Why is it gonna be for me?
Because we always look at you first to try to answer it.
God damn it! All right.
You got the last couple though. I think you're
on a roll.
You're on fire, so we got to give Gabe a chance.
All right, here we go. Shit.
Let's go, Gabe.
All right, let's go to the Nerd Fact of the Week, brought to you by our good friends at Nerd Focus. Let's go to the Nerd. All right, so the Nerd Fact of the Week, and this goes to Mr. Gabe. Dillon Danis won his last fight at Bellator. What year was his last fight?
2023.
No, 2019. His last Bellator fight.
No. You said his last fight. When was his last fight?
His last fight.
No.
I said
no. Wrong. You didn't say his last MMA fight. You said his last fight.
All right, so let's go to a real nerd fact. So, right around this time in 2003, the light heavyweight championship of the world was on the line. It was a long time delayed title fight. It was supposed to be two people fighting against each other. Chuck Liddell was supposed to fight this individual for the championship. Obviously, that got delayed because the person he was supposed to be fighting said that they have a friendship. And also, he had a prestigious movie coming out that he had to put that fight on hold. So, what?
Oh, Potter's froze.
I think we lost Potter.
Well, I think
it sounds like Tito.
It's 100% Tito.
Yeah. You froze there for a second, Potter.
Tito Ortiz.
I'm guessing Tito.
Yeah, I froze there. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, Tito Ortiz. Sorry, I thought about that on the whim. But yeah, Tito Ortiz lost the championship at UFC Undisputed. It was UFC 44, I believe, Undisputed. Tito Ortiz fought against Randy Couture and got spanked. Randy Couture actually was on our show. And got spanked in the process, losing to Randy Couture. Randy Couture before that fought May 2023. Randy Couture beat Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell went to the Pride Grand Prix, beat Alistair Overeem, lost to Quentin Rampage Jackson, and then Quentin Rampage Jackson lost to Vanderlei Silva in the finals of Final Conflict 2023 in October 2003, also around the same time. So you are absolutely right. Gabe was right, ladies and gentlemen. For undefeated so far, Mr. Gabe, four-time world champion. And that was the Nerd Fact of the Week, brought to you by our good friends at Nerd. You fucking assholes. I hate you all. But nevertheless, I love you equally. So, final words, final thoughts, and we apologize to everybody. Phil Haas, training comes first, and if you're a fighter, you know this better than anybody. He will make his commitments, and he will come on next week to talk about cornering Dillon Danis and also what he's training for. It's just a little bit of a fucking teaser. And also, we have to get Mams Taylor on here. Gabe just revealed, not before this whole transpired, but after this whole transpired, that he's actually friends with Mams. I hate you, Gabe, and I hate that you're so popular, and you know a thing or two about a thing or two. You know people that know people that know people. But Gabe, I'm just kidding, and I love our banter, and I love you, and you're one of my heroes. But nevertheless, final words, final thoughts from the four-time world champion, Mr. Gabe, and also runs one of the best gyms on the fucking planet Earth. That you get a free trial class, Kaiju MMA and Fitness in Tarzana, California. Mr. Gabe, final words, final thoughts from the four-time world champion. I still haven't gotten my shirt.
You're right. I actually do owe you a care package, and that's actually 100% right. But that being said, love and hate are so close together most of the time, Potter. Most of the time. And I appreciate you no matter what, buddy. And I appreciate you no matter what. And I'll be honest, the more and more that we butt heads, just the better the show is. I'm going to tell you, like, seriously, like, I don't want three guys touching tips the whole time. It's, I appreciate that there's other things going on. So it's a good thing.
And I want to also point out, and obviously we argue, but whose argument and whose opinion has more weight? You're a four-time world champion. While I was watching on television, you were actually fucking doing it on television. So obviously, I always will let you have the last word, no matter how much I bitch, complain, cry afterwards, cry myself to sleep at night and hate my life over my tapes of Power Slap. Your opinion has far so much weight, and you'll always get the last word. You are the fucking man, and yeah, still one of my heroes, even though I hate you.
Here's the thing: it's not just my opinion; it's this guy's 90% of the time is whatever that guy. Jake
and same concept goes with Jake Thunderhat, and I love you, big brother, and obviously you'll always get the last word. Yeah, I have an opinion because I've been a fan. And I fought and I dabbled, but you actually lived right through it, and you guys put the sport on your back and fucking carried the sport when no one was watching. So obviously your opinion has way too much more weight than mine. But final words, final thoughts from Thunder Jake Hatton, at one point in time considered one of the best fighters in the world and one of the most knowledgeable motherfuckers in the game. Jake, final words and final thoughts, good sir.
No, Gabe's right. Thin line between love and hate, and it is a lot of fun. And your opinion does matter, because I know Gabe and I shit on you, but we'll also come to defend you. Anybody that fucks with you also. So don't get the lines crossed there. But, you put so much work, the understanding of the sports, putting the show together. I mean, you put in a lot of work that people don't see that, we appreciate. So we do appreciate you as much as we bash you sometimes for your silly opinions. But show's been a lot of fun.
What he says. And I agree.
So what you're saying is you appreciate me in Power Slap and Dillon Danis and all things.
Gabe, we give an inch and he takes a fucking mile. So that's why we just got to keep hammering on him.
Give this fucking clown an inch. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. With that being said, fucking bid you adieu, my friend.
Wait, with that being said, play Gabe's video one more time.
Gabe had the perfect exit.
Oh, he fucking exited! God damn it!
Hey! Before I go, do you ever watch that Seinfeld where George finally says something funny and then he leaves the room and he exits at the perfect time? That was Gabe tonight. Bravo, Gabe! Bravo!
All right, I take back everything I said. Fuck you, fuck Gabe, and not fuck Amazon Prime. We are number 3 on Amazon's top 100 sports fan shows in the world. We appreciate everybody that's fucking watching. Phil Haas will be on next week. We'll also get Mams Taylor on here, who runs Misfits Boxing, 1.3 million buys, all thanks to Dillon Danis. Oh, yeah, shake your head. That's right. I'm kidding. All right, from myself, Thunder J Cat, and four-time world champion, Mr. Gabe, signing off. We'll see you tomorrow for the weekly bust. Alan Bletcher is going to be on, and we'll see you next week for Fight World Live on Amazon Prime. Boys and girls, have a good rest of your weekend. Have a pleasant tomorrow, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.